In this media, you will learn about the role of feedback in team building. Every stage of team building requires feedback. In the forming stage, members get to know one another through the feedback they receive from one another. In storming stage, members provide their feedback by openly voicing their agreement or disagreement on issues in discussion. The norming stage see the team providing constructive feedback to each other. Team interest gain priority over personal interest. For the next two stages, the result itself functions as a feedback. Feedback should be taken in the right spirit. One should not mean to offend the other. At the same time, one should not take an objective feedback as an attack. Feedback can be meaningful only if the people understand the spirit of the feedback. A good team is one where members take feedback from other members in the right spirit. There are certain ways of giving and receiving feedback. As a team leader, when you are providing feedback to a member, you should state the purpose. Let your team members know how your feedback can be useful for them. Be specific. Tell your team members exactly what they did that was inappropriate. Focus on the behavior, then on the personal qualities. For example, you came late today informs about the behavior, whereas you are irresponsible is a judgment about a person. Use of I statements. Allow your team to know how you feel about each of their behavior. For example, I noticed that you barged into my room when I was in a meeting. Feedback will help you to promote a productive dialogue. At the same time, you should also tell them about their strengths. This will help them to take things in a positive way, then become defensive. State your expectation. Tell them what you want. Find out a solution to the problem and tell them how they can change. Allow them to explain their side. Give them an opportunity to explain themselves. By this, you would provide a more conducive work environment. Your team members will know that their problems will be listened to. As a member of a team, when you receive feedback, you should focus on the feedback. You should pay more attention to the feedback than on the person. Sometimes, you can receive the best feedback from the most unexpected people. Be open and see how effectively you can use the feedback to improve your performance. Listen carefully. Listen to what is being said without thinking about your response. Ask for clarifications. Don't get defensive when you receive a negative feedback. Ask for examples to clearly understand what he or she meant. Admit if you make a mistake. If you feel that something happened because you were at fault, admit it and move on. The true intention of a feedback should be to improve the performance of a team member. Feedback also does not mean that the receiver will only be at the receiving end. Thus, you have learned about the role of feedback in team building.